Okay,
Okay.
so here we are again.
Hey Roland. Yeah, welcome to my practice this time.
Beautiful place you have here.
Thank you.
Nice light.
Yeah.
And today we talk about, this is actually the sixth podcast about MER, and we talk about breathing, breath.
We talk about breathing today. Breathing is something we take it for granted, and we're actually breathing all the time, whether we think about it or not. And if we don't, we die.
Autonomic.
So breathing is one of those functions that you can do consciously, willfully. You can control your own breathing, but it's also something that happens unconsciously, under the radar, even when you sleep, and we just breathe.
Yeah, we just go on breathing. It's an autonomic response. And the breathing we do with our diaphragm, and the diaphragm is going up and down, inhale, exhale, and it's a muscle here in the diaphragmatic area, which you can touch a little bit in deep body work. And a lot of people have restriction in breathing, more or less. And in MER you can manipulate this by touching the diaphragm and help it relax more, because people are frozen in their startle reflex, in their fear response somewhat. And not everybody, but most people have somewhat of a fear frozen in their diaphragm. And by freeing that physiologically, by freeing the fascia in the diaphragmatic area, you can improve breathing, and by doing so you improve also your MER session, because people can charge up more their fascia in order to discharge and relax the health spaces in the fascia.
The breathing is really closely connected with the armoring of the body. Like tensions that you tense your body even at a young age, and you start holding your breath to control your energy, to repress feelings. So by working on this, a lot can happen for the person. Like a lot of people, they breathe very superficially and they breathe too fast. And by doing that, they stay in the fight-flight part of the nervous system. So we are trying to also to help people to breathe deeper and breathe slower, so that they go to the rest and digest part of the nervous system.
The parasympathetic.
Which is where you want to be most of the time. The fight-flight is for those moments where you need extra energy. But if you find yourself in the fight-flight most of the time throughout the day, you create a lot of stress for the body.
And people tend to breathe high when they are in this fight flight. They tend to breathe high in their upper lungs, and they restrict the deeper breathing through the belly. And if you can have them release this tension, then they can really breathe fully. And they're more charged in the sense of that they have more oxygen in their body, and their metabolism is improving, and they have more energy, and they feel more healthy. That's also one of the parts of breathing, actually.
So also part of a MER session is really making people aware of how they're breathing, because I think most people, they don't pay much attention to their breathing. So we try to create the awareness, and we try also with our work to enable people to feel what it's like to breathe without all these muscular restrictions. Because Roland mentioned it, you have this dome-shaped muscle called the diaphragm, which is your main breathing muscle. You have also muscles here in the neck, which are part of breathing, and also other muscles. But although you have the main breathing muscles, you have a lot of breathing restrictors. Which, when they are tense, they can really restrict your breathing. So we try to work on opening this whole breath, so that rather than just a little bit of movement, a little bit of expansion, that your whole rib cage, rib basket can move nicely with the breathing. And it creates so much freedom, not just physically, but also emotionally, for the person.
Yeah. As body workers, we watch people how they breathe, and to improve the fascia around the rib basket, to release it and to make it more three-dimensional breathing. So what you just mentioned, like it goes all the way, not only up and down. Or you see people they breathe like this: inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and they complain about pain in their shoulders and neck. And that's because they breathe with their shoulders all the time. Or people who only belly breathe, they can only belly breathe. They have learned to belly breathe, and so when you ask them to breathe, it's only there, and this is all frozen. This is not moving at all. You see all kinds of restrictions in breathing. Besides that, all the improvement in breathing, we use breathing to charge people up. So if you charge people by breathing a little bit more than normal, then you can touch fascia everywhere in the system, not only in the breathing system, to have the release in the fascia by the discharge. So in terms of trauma release, you charge people up, and then they can touch places where it's held. And if that is opening somewhat, then also the emotions and the reason they hold this tension in that area can show up by discharge, by realization of the emotion, but also by discharge of the held place. So their structure improves in order to use the breathing in deep work.
Yeah, so opening the breath is not just about working around the rib cage, but it's a whole body thing, huh? Like the body is a unit.
Yeah.
So you cannot just work on the diaphragm and hope that everything will suddenly change. It will get better, but you need to work on also back, neck. What is also connected with the breathing is the state of your psoas, which is your big muscle, internal muscle, which is connected with the diaphragm, which is again connected with the pericardium, the fascia around the heart.
Yeah.
So it's all connected, and so even though you want to improve your breathing, we may also work on other parts of the body because of the fact that fascia is continuous throughout your whole body.
Ideally, you breathe with your whole body. So the fascia in your whole body is responding to the breathing. So then you are really fluid, and you really breathe, and the fascia can breathe. Oxygen is distributed through the body. Ideally you breathe in your breathing system, but ideally you breathe in the whole body. So the whole body is getting a little bit bigger and a little bit smaller in this action of breathing. And what else we want to say about breathing? We talked about using breathing in session. We use it with 4 elements in MER. One of the most important is the breathing.
Yeah.
The second is the deep touch, to find places where it's held fascia. And then we have this movement. So the release of the held space can travel through the body somewhere. It can find its way out in a myofascial winding way. So it can, like breathing actually. And then you have the focal cueing. So you ask people what's going on in the body, what you experience, in order to cue them to what is held in that place in the body. And in that way, breathing is also important, because the breathing supports the way you can feel the places where it was held. Is that clear, what I just said? Is that any clear?
No, explain one more time.
So that the feeling has a way of expression. That's why you need the breath also to charge it up and to express it after in a release.
And that's also as a practitioner, you really pay attention to the breathing of the client and give a lot of information about where the client is at with himself. Like if you work with somebody who is hardly breathing, there's a chance this person is spacing out and not really present anymore. So by going back to the breathing, the person can also really come back into the body, come back into his awareness, so to say, about what's really going on. Because this is often how it started a long time ago. As a child, you held your breath and you were spacing out in order to survive an impossible situation. So when this happens again, you can really help somebody by really helping them to feel and to stay present with what's happening in the body. And the breathing is often an indicator of what's really going on with the client, and to help the client really come back and stay present is one way of working with the breathing.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Session.
When the people feel emotional or feel relive some kind of situation from their life, you can feel it on their breathing. They get anxious or they get angry, and the breathing really can regulate that emotion out of the body by a good therapist who is guiding you in this breathing through, and also holding the spaces which are releasing. So it's a combination of both techniques that is so important in myofascial energetic release, because that is actually key to release the fascia tension.
Yeah.
So but it's also danger, because you can also overbreathe people. Then they start getting tingling fingers and
start
hyperventilating. So you have to be really careful that you hold it in a safe space.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people, they have a lot of fear, and how they deal with this fear is you hold your breath.
Yeah. Fear is a response, like when somebody's slamming the door behind me, the first thing I do is so that's fear, and I'm frozen in fear somewhat till I know it's a door and not a gun, and then oh my God, it's a gun, and then I relax from this frozen space.
And then the first thing that happens is that you breathe out, right?
Yeah, or in more, but it depends on where it's frozen. If it was, the first thing is in, because normally you do. Or some people do. That depends.
But this sigh of relief is
important. Yeah.
It's important that the breathing out to support the out breath, which is also a way of going from the fight-flight into the relaxation modus of your nervous system.
Yeah.
So when you're regulating yourself, the breathing is a great instrument, and we really try to teach people and to bring awareness to the breathing. That gives them also a great tool that they can use in their own lives, going through the sometimes stressful days and stressful moments. You can keep yourself more present and more grounded and more aware by consciously using your breath.
Yeah. And also consciously noticing how your breath is responding, in order to, for instance, when you try to regulate your nervous system into a parasympathetic state, the breathing is really important to notice that you do this. That is the point where you go into the parasympathetic state. And when you hold like this, you hold your head like this, you lie on your back, and you just watch there and watch there. Do this exercise from
Rosenberg. Yeah.
Then you wait for this sigh. This sigh is the moment that you return to the parasympathetic state, which is also breathing actually. That's really noticeable if people, and then they start to really slowly breathe into the relaxation mode. And it's also the moment that when people are meeting emotions in a session, and they find a way of coping with it, then they relax in the here and now after that whole emotional roller coaster. Like they relive something really angry and they were banging your massage table, and then when the energy is gone, the trauma is released, they come back into the parasympathetic mode. And that's so important that you know how the breathing is regulated in the body and how to work with it and how to play with it in sessions.
Yeah,
you have to laugh.
Well, breathing, it can be such an amazing entry into where people need to go. You can activate people through breathing. You can help people relax through breathing. You can help people go into expression through breathing. So, yeah, breathing becomes a kind of vehicle that you can use to help the person to go where he or she needs to go.
Yeah, it's really, it can be directive, it can be relaxing, it can be all kind of things.
Yeah,
and it's so
even
important.
the fact, like if what can happen sometimes if somebody's really relaxing is that they really they sort of disappear and dissociate. And this is, for many people, that was the way of surviving. It was like a survival mechanism, was dissociating. So by bringing people back to what's happening with them can be very helpful. And it's a way of changing an old pattern. Yeah, because they hold their breath and they space out. So we help people to come back to the breathing, become aware of the breathing, and also connect with how they feel. So that's a way to bring people back to the present moment, and to who they are and what's going on with them. And that's so helpful for people who are used to dissociating, to literally disappear from the situation.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. So, and if they are here, then you help them with the breathing also to relax that breathing again, because most of the time when they disappear, they're not breathing. They're in a place of dissociation. So they are more in the corner of a freeze situation.
Yeah. Fight, flight, freeze, right? Yeah.
So
sometimes people freeze when you notice that. Then they carefully work to bring them back to the present moment.
Give up. First they give up fighting, then they give up running away, and then they go into this place where they're not available anymore.
Where they disappear, huh?
Yeah. So breathing is a good way to bring them back, because they don't breathe, and you activate the breathing. They come back into the here and now, and then you make eye contact, and or you give them a nice place to think about, and then you bring them back into the here and now in the same way.
So breathing, it's we take it so much for granted, but it's also, breathing offers a treasure for personal growth, for working through the body. We talk about working either top down or from bottom up. So working with the breath is working with the body, and with that you can have a lot happening with the psyche, with the mind, with the how you tick as a person. It's very much connected with the breathing. Inspiration, it means to breathe in, right? So when you breathe in, you get inspired.
Yeah, you get inspired, and it's also a good tool to work the deep strokes. So when you work on areas where you really can touch with breath, and it really stretches the fascia out, and it really works this way. And also when you work on a place where you cannot expand with the rib basket and the breathing system, still the breathing is, when you ask your client to go there with the mind and the breathing, and it still expands and stretches out from within. So breathing is really important to have this how do you say, this resilience going, get it going again. And
also the wave, when you do that, I see really a wave of energy going through the body.
Yeah, so you breathe with all your body. Even your smallest toe is doing this if you are really healthy and resilient.
Yeah.
But I think it's enough talking about breathing today.
Yeah, maybe we should take a deep breath.
We take a deep breath. So if you want to know more about breathing, a good blog to go to is Opening the Breath, which is module 5, and it's on our websites. You give training in Scandinavia.
Yeah.
I give training in Holland, actually in Amsterdam. But yeah, we travel a lot around, and I have a treatment center together with the founder, Satyarthi, in Greece, opening in a couple of weeks now. And so yeah, check MER Scandinavia.
MER Scandinavia or
Great Connections it's my website.
Great Connections. You will find the information underneath in the information.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching. Bye.
Thank you, Ketu.
You too, man.